Good morning. Happy Monday. Hope all of you kids are doing well. Welcome home, Trish. Back from the South. Enjoy your 2 weeks of quarantine. All right, let's see if everything is up. Oh, okay. Okay, there we go. A little restream technical difficulties. That's weird. My network connection is a 6 out of 10. That's a new little feature. Yeah, so happy Monday. Hope you guys had a good weekend. Hopefully you were able to get some stuff done. We were supposed to go camping, but we wanted to stay home so that we could monitor the progress on Stella, and hopefully Stella can come home from the hospital today. For those of you who don't know, Stella is our dog, not a child. Yeah, so she had really bad severe pancreatitis, and then that led to the inflammation, was bad enough that she needed some anticoagulants and some blood thinners because she was having some clotting issues. And so, it's what keeps Cornell in business, but hey, she's worth every penny. So it's been very quiet at our house the last few days. So we've been just kind of patiently awaiting her arrival. So hopefully today we get to go get her. What's up, Matt? Got a nice little bike ride in this morning, 45 minutes before I heard footsteps upstairs to go play dad, so not too bad. Every day from 5 to 6, you will find me Zwifting. I'm going to make that kind of a thing that I'm going to be doing for the next, what are we doing, 500 miles this month? So the next month from 5 to 6 a.m. pretty much. All right, so that brings me to today. Today's question is, do you have a map? So I heard this like a long time ago, probably the beginning part of shutdown with coronavirus and it was not related to coronavirus, but it was just something that in a podcast I was listening to, the guy was talking about, do you have a map? So think of this. You can have the most detailed map on the planet. You can have, it could have every street, every lamppost, every store, everything on it. And it could be the best map possible. You could have, you could have paid thousands of dollars for it. And when you go to Chicago and you pull out this $1,000 map and you look, and nothing matches up because it's a map of Philadelphia. So do you have a map? Not only do you have a map, do you have the right map? Now, obviously, we're not a travel agency, so I don't care if you're going to Philadelphia. If you are, let me know and I can tell you some really good places to go. But if we look at it from a nutritional side of things or a fitness side of things, it's just like if you go on Training Peaks, I can buy a 20-week Ironman training program. I can go on to bulletproofcoffee.com and buy a nutrition plan. But is it going to be the nutrition plan that works best for you? In the beginning, any of them typically will work. Why? Because it's more than you're currently doing. Currently, you're eating like shit all the time. So anything that you implement is an improvement. So you'll notice an improvement. Same thing. If you aren't currently training, then you download this program. Now you're currently, and you start training, you're going to see an improvement because now you're doing something more than nothing, right? But is it the best map for you? Is it the best? Do you have the best tools at your disposal to make sure that you are as efficient as possible, as effective as possible? And all of that goes back to like what your goals are. They're no one else's goals. So to break this down further, you and I are going to Philadelphia. and there's 12 things that I want to go see. There's 12 things that you want to go see. We're not going together. We're both there. We both have a map of Philadelphia with our 12 places on it, right? So everything from the art museum to the Japanese gardens and even down to Manayunk, because we'll go down there because that's Indian for where I go to drink. So we'll go down there as well. The difference is if we go there and, you know, are we going to go see all of those 12 sites in the same order? If we're running the Philadelphia Marathon, then yes. But if we're just going there as visitors to this town, and again, we're not together, we're just two random people who showed up in Philadelphia at the same day with the same 12 places to see. Maybe I want to go see my favorite ones first. Maybe, you know, maybe the body exhibit is still showing and I'm going to want to go there first and then go across the street and see the dinosaur exhibits, where you'd rather start in Manayunk with a beer. So again, we can have literally the same map of the same city, different ways to utilize that tool. So when we look at it from the perspective of fitness, again, if we're training for an Ironman, a 5K, does a couch to 5K work? Yep. You know why? Because your ass was on the couch. Is it the best program for you from a long-term perspective? I don't know. Have no idea. Is your nutrition? You go on to bulletproofcoffee.com. And again, I'm not opposed to Bulletproof Coffee. I love Bulletproof brand. Is that the best nutrition for you? Or is keto the best? Is paleo the best? Is vegan the best? Is some other thing the best? I don't know. But you know how we do find out. So how do we know that you're using the correct map? By tracking, by monitoring your progress. Are you consistently working towards your goals? So if you just put a goal of, you want to know the easiest way to hit a goal? Create a shitty goal. So if my goal is, I want to lose weight. I get on the scale, I weigh myself, I'm 176. I go for a 2-mile run. I come back, I go pee, I am 175.5. I have accomplished my goal. No, I'm just kidding. If I was 178 and I come back and I'm 175.5, I've accomplished my goal. I've lost half a pound. Why? Probably because I went pee. Now, if I say I want to be 170 and 10% body fat, now we've got some defined parameters. Or I want to be keto and I want to run at 1 millimolar of ketones anytime I randomly test my blood ketone levels. Now I have a specified parameter. I want to do Ironman in 11 hours. Now I have a specified parameter. Because now I can document what my starting points are. I can document what my progress needs to be. And I've talked about this in goal setting, where if my goal is to do a 10-hour Ironman, and it's like, okay, well, I've got to do the swim in an hour. I've got to do the bike in 5 hours. That gives me 6 hours. Add 10 minutes on each side for transition. So now I'm at 6:20. To get to this 10 hours, I've got to deduct 10 hours from 6 hours and 20 minutes, which puts me at 3 hours and 40 minutes. So that's what I have to do in order to accomplish this feat, or some variation thereof. So where do I stand with my swim? Where do I stand with my bike? Where do I stand with my run? So you have to make sure that whatever map you're using, as you start working towards those goals, and this is where creating micro goals and smaller goals along the way helps you, because if you aren't able to track your progress, if you don't know where you're starting and you don't know where you're going, well, then your map probably isn't very good. Okay? So do you have the right map? Do you have a map? Or are you just like, do you just wake up and aimlessly just kind of float by, and then every now and then you're like, man, why does my weight never change? Well, you never do anything to change it. Like, why would it change? What have you elicited with like true integrity and intensity to elicit that change? And I think that's the piece that a lot of people skip on. is a lot of people will look and say, I want to lose 20 pounds. Okay. What are you doing to lose 20 pounds? Well, you know, I'm gonna cut back on how much I drink during the week. Okay. Well, what do you currently drink during the week? I don't know, like 5 or 6 beers. What was it, 5 or is it 6? That could be a 300 calorie difference. I don't know. Okay, well, you need to know that before you can cut it back, because if you have 6 or if you have 5 and you're like, oh, I'm gonna, but you think you have 6, then now when you cut it back to 5, you're really not cutting anything back. So again, do you have a map? Is it your map or is it a map? Because my map and your map should not be the same. They can be similar. They can have a lot of similar characteristics, but it should be your map. It should be customized. Good morning, mother. It should be customized to you, whether it's a map of your nutrition, a map of your fitness, a map of your career path. You need to make that map yours, and you need to constantly be making changes to that map in order to make sure that it consistently helps you to get to where you want to go. If you kind of just take this map and you're like, all right, now I've got the map, now what do I do? Follow it. Well, what happens when you hit your first roadblock? Same thing if you're in a city and you know you're like, all right, I'm going to go to the art museum, and you were going to go by the Barnes Museum and then go over to the art museum, but the road's closed. Do you just say, well, guess I'm not going to the art museum, or do you work around? Most people, if you want to go see that, you would work around. So I gave you some very good places to go visit while you're in Philadelphia during this talk as well. The Barnes Museum, which is right next to a Whole Foods, the Art Museum, Japanese Gardens, Manayunk. So, and those are all random. But again, do you have a map? So take a minute, think about that, and if you have any questions, as always, feel free to shoot me a message either on the Facebook or via the email. And you know, if you need help setting up your map, determining your map, any of that stuff, let me know. I'm always available, whether it's for phone call, whether it's an email conversation or in person. All that stuff is absolutely fine. But I want you to think about that, because again, you can have this grand idea of who you want to be or what you want to do or how you want to get there, but is it really truly yours? Or is it just like, oh, I found this on the internet and I think it'll work? Because again, anything will work short term, but you need something that's going to work long term. Because unless you only want to be here for the short term, it's not going to, you know, then it'll be effective. Otherwise, if you want to be here for the long term, you probably got to have something that's going to work for that duration. So hope you guys have an awesome day. It looks beautiful out as always. And I thought I read somewhere that the apple orchards are now open. So, you know, if you have a chance, go support our local apple orchards. And, you know, Beacon Skiff. I like Adams Acres. It's a small one, but they do organic apples right down the road from us. They're probably not open yet. They're open usually a little bit later. But I think that they just opened. I think Beacon Skiff opened this weekend. So we're getting to that time of year. Our grapes just started to turn yesterday. So we should have some grapes at our house, which will be nice. Probably about 15 pounds. We got a bunch. So hope you guys have a great day. Hope you're able to get outside, get some movement in, and I will see you guys tomorrow.